Hello everybody, I'm Mike Meier.
And this is Jer Robert.
Welcome to my Video Game Magazine Read-Through show. Today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. Want to know why?
Yeah, we're about to go through a cavalcade of ads in magazines, apparently.
That's why this episode is called Ads, Ads, Ads. Random video game ads from the 90s. This is part one of a multi-part series. So expect more in future episodes of this great show.
Yeah, it should be a blast. Quite an exciting run, as we got quite a collection of ads to go through.
That's right, more than enough to fill a whole hour, as our shows run for about 50 or so minutes. So if you're ready, let's say we get started with the first ad. Game Players Pro Tip Hotline. Oh, it's a 1-900 hotline. Just as I thought.
Yeah, I can't say I really called too many of those in my childhood, but I understand, like, in later years, yeah, the supposed scams that go on behind them and charging you premium price for particular tips.
The Game Players Pro Tip Hotline costs $1.25 for the first minute, and then just 75 cents for each additional minute. Oh boy. This is why you should never call hotlines like that. Because if you do and you spend all night doing so,
you might run up a huge phone bill, especially if you have a lot of tips on your mind that you like to extol to these artists. And yeah, it wouldn't make, especially if you're a kid, it wouldn't make your parents very happy when they see the result.
Yeah, a kid who's asking to get punished by his parents, his or her parents to be exact. If your parents are penny pinchers, don't call those stinking hotlines, for the love of God. Just know, and it only gets worse. EGM's Hot Top 10s. Register your vote with Electronic Gaming Monthly. It's a 1-900 hotline.
I haven't really, I don't think I did this sort of thing to, decide on a favorite game that I suppose EGM would want to put in a future issue, like players' poll results.
Only 99 cents per minute.
Yeah, so you better know what you would want to say in quick succession, as far as giving your results to these guys.
Yes, because you don't want to run up your parents' phone bill and make them incredibly angry at you. We actually covered this in the first episode of the Video Game Magazine Read-Through show. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Of course, the infamous Genesis, the Genesis ad where they took shots at Nintendo for the. I don't know if it's the only time, but they would do it in ads on TV, but yeah, this is the print ad that a lot of people remember, especially back in those days.
And here's the direct continuation of that ad. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's Genesis tried to put the best foot forward, and even if it means slamming the competition, I suppose that company wouldn't think twice about it until Nintendo got on their back about it.
Yep.
I suppose took them to court for
it. This was an ad that we covered in the first episode as well. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Yeah, the game I played, I found it to be somewhat entertaining. Yeah, I suppose this is a good showpiece to showcase what a Genesis, processing power of the Genesis, what it was capable of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this one would be The Sword of Vermilion.
Yeah, it's a game I like. I didn't invest too much time into it. From what I played, it's pretty good. Yeah, but once again, it's like a lot of the previous ads. It's Sega slamming Nintendo for no sustainable reason. I mean, yeah, it's 16-bit technically, but graphically, you can get by on the Nintendo you currently own. But if you really want to upgrade to a Genesis, all the power to you. If you're sold on these ads, and if you trust the Sega product, Sega line brand enough, I mean, yeah, like if you have a good enough income, yeah, switch to Genesis if you like. I suppose these ads, yeah, would have been sold well to a lot of people, especially people in their youth. And you know, and here's another lineup of you know, credible Genesis titles. Meeting the company, trying to showcase what they got to offer, especially what they could at the time. And this is, I suppose, a great fine lineup of games with the different genres. And yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. Yeah, another good lineup of games. I'm surprised they have as many as they do in at this time period. I don't know what the date of this magazine is, maybe 1991. So yeah, they would have had a few dozen titles in their catalog right about now. So yeah, it's nice that they line everything up by genre, and yeah, showcasing what you may like, and another convincing idea to get you to switch over to a different console if you're ready.
17 companies have earned the right to display this seal on their games. Oh wow. The official Sega Genesis seal of quality. Nothing like the Nintendo seal of quality, might I add.
Yeah, I don't know if this was actually something that they had to, something that was that Sega was obligated to do as by patent, by law, or just to showcase, or just to put trust in the consumer. Maybe it's a bit of both. Like to trust the player that, you know, they put the seal on their product, so you're getting the premium product.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, discuss the ill-fated 32X. Yeah, try to put some lighthearted humor in their ads to somewhat persuade you to think that you know, 32X is better than what it really is.
Yeah. Mommy, what are those two Sega machines doing? Oh boy. We all know where this is heading.
Yeah, they tout the like arcade quality graphics, so they say, but a lot of the titles, some of those titles leave a bit to be desired.
Yeah, and when you attach the 32X onto the Sega Genesis, it looks like it's got a cancerous tumor growing out of it, as my friend Sean Bargy would say.
I'm sure he's not the only one who says that. I think combining the 32X with the, you know, Sega CD, like people may think, people want to joke about it, but I don't think it looks that bad. Like it's like a transformation of an existing console, and we add them to pieces. I personally think it's not so bad.
Oh yeah.
The Activator. Yeah, I guess people have polarizing views about this product. Some may think it. So it depends on the time period. Actually, like it probably worked better, you know, better on that when it just came out. But I suppose it loses its power, its luster over time, and the apparatus just becomes more and more obscure, and just becomes a, you know, a paperweight of sorts, or just a piece of nostalgia that you set aside in your collection, and you have the satisfaction of like telling people, hey, you own this thing, and you know, I tried to make it work. But I believe it's yeah, you know, a cool toy for the time. Maybe it's not the right verbiage to call it toy, but you know what I mean. It's just a thing.
A nice peripheral, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, it works. I think the ultimate examples like Streets of Rage 2 and Eternal Champions, it can work. Like some games work better than others when it comes to that apparatus. So it's just make it. Of course, they gotta make it look like you know a big deal. If they got the fighter and the illustrations. So it's yeah, it's basically, you know, getting to sell you on another product, and again that's something that has a short shelf life based on like the usability of the product and how I just think it's like tech just fails over time, and you know, but for the period it's not so bad.
And now for a little something that we covered in the first episode, if you remember. If you can play it here, it's the advertisement for the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why I figured it. Yeah. Well, what is the other part of that saying?
You'll find out in just a sec. You can play it anywhere. Introducing the Turbo Express. Yeah, this is the advertisement for the Turbo Express.
Yeah, that's an ad actually I haven't seen much of in magazines, if at all. Yeah. I suppose an okay product for the time.
Yeah, and I think that product and the TurboGrafx 16 somehow slipped under my radar, as I had no idea what that console was.
Yeah, it shows like the thing has a lot of promise. I mean, it's, you know, color, backlit, I suppose, and you know, you got to question its battery life too. Take that into account. And its library of games. Don't know how expansive it is, but I suppose it's enough to keep you entertained for a period of time.
Yeah, and it plays games that were released for TurboGrafx 16, namely the Turbo chips.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Personally, I thought it had its own line of Turbo Express titles.
No,
Like
it's a portable version of the TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah. Okay. So like usability is very high, and you know has enough scope to you know keep a consumer invested. So I suppose that yeah, an okay product, I guess, works well with me. I wasn't too maybe I wasn't too enamored because of my limited income as a kid, and I was pretty much like the Game Boy fan. So this kind of flew over my radar.
Oh yeah. And here's another.
Yeah, it's got the color, you know, library of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, showcasing its color and its reach, and
And all of its titles.
yeah,
And they were in direct competition with Sega Genesis.
yeah, primarily Sega Genesis, not so much Nintendo yet, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's another ad I haven't really seen too much of. Yeah, like ad sales were not that expansive when it came to the NEC, and you know, it's what do you call it? It's outreach. Yeah, so it's an okay presentation of their console, their chief console, and yeah, can't complain too much.
Now this is an ad that we covered in the first episode.
Yeah, Bonk, their NEC's chief mascot. Yeah, it's fine presentation. It's unlike NEC's previous ads based on their peripherals. They actually show game screen footage, and colorful enough. It's got the characters, and the presentation is just fine. You got a close up of the hero and the title, and a little blurb. So it's kind of got the meat and potatoes of how its game, its property should be presented in an ad like this. So this one isn't bad. I mean, it's got a screenshot of is that California Games?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. One name that stands out, I think, up there is Chips Challenge, I remember. And yeah, Atari Lynx. Yeah, it's got a good presentation. You got some characters on there. Good layout, and I think up there you can link up like 4 Lynxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and have a multi-party of ones, especially if you're lucky enough to find people with 3 Lynxes. Maybe unlike the Game Boy, you don't need 4 copies of the same game. Wouldn't be surprised if you did though.
Oh yeah.
But it's got humor. It's got screens. It's got it's got a blurb. I mean, yeah, the Atari Jaguar. You think it would have a better life or a longer shelf life than it ended up being, especially with consumers more more or less in the 90s, getting more smarter and smartening up about products that would fail sooner than expected, like the 32X and this console. So as much as you could put your face into some of these game screens, and you got the font there, it's different, print, it's different lettering, got the attitude, and
yeah,
in the text layout.
In the 90s, it was all about extreme.
Yeah, you'd have to relate to the fan base of your audience to get your point across, and mid 90s or all throughout the 90s, so all about opening up, speaking your mind, and the most important thing is for companies to reach out to the consumer, and this is what it does. I mean, as promised as it attempted to have, but falling on false hopes, especially if you buy the console and you feel somewhat disappointed at the lackluster titles. I mean, graphically at first you may have been invested, but you realize that continue to dump your money into this product. You just have, I suppose, you would have to be really committed, faithful to Atari, and hopes of better days ahead. But just the overall presentation and lack of game quality, it doesn't add to a long lifespan for the company. So it's sad that things turn out the way they did.
Oh yes, including the Jaguar CD. The Jaguar CD was plagued with a lot of problems, and the toilet aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because when you put a cartridge in the back and a CD in there, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess the devs or the development, like they didn't think about that aesthetic. But anyway, yeah, the Jaguar CD had a penchant for not being able to run. They were somewhat defective, especially I would suppose at launch. I guess it depends on the wires and not enough quality control. I think a good majority of them were defective around the time when it was new. So like if you can get a working Jaguar CD or CD running, I mean that's like a diamond in the rough somewhat. So, but that's even discounting, not even including the quality of games if you can get the CD up and running.
Mm-hmm.
So game quality is another thing, but I believe they had their share of titles among the cult fan base that are lauded for being somewhat redeemable, and when you talk about obscure consoles or obscure add-ons, like Jaguar CD comes to mind, and some titles are somewhat memorable, or like the world worth being remembered. 3DO.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Wired for Speed.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's supposed to, exemplify an exclamation of like consumer being, brains and eyes can't believe it.
Oh yes. Sean considered it a sorry excuse for a game console.
Yeah. Well, again, it's like Jaguar. It had its promise of good titles, and there are some. You just gotta look a little bit harder. But again, yeah, like a affinity lifespan, and it's just one of those. Another console falls by the wayside. Again, another one that had a lot of promise, like the Jaguar, but just lackluster in the creativity department.
Oh yes, and unfortunately the Philips CDI had absolutely no promise at all.
I would suspect, yeah, not a lot of longevity.
Oh yes. Here's yet another one that we covered in the first episode.
Yes.
The Power Glove. It's so bad.
Yeah, I suppose you take the time to understand the schematics of the button layout and how every every button layout pertains to like different types of games. Like one game represents some, like jotting in a certain order of buttons to make the game work effectively. Yeah, it can be perhaps can be a bit tedious, and like even if you do get the joypad to work, you know, the glove itself leaves a little to be desired. It probably worked best when it was you know, newer at launch, but over time I think its, you know, its luster dies down, and the thing just becomes like a piece in your collection that you don't really use.
Oh yes. And yes, there's another one. Get a grip on the 90s with the Power Glove. Oh boy.
Yeah, I forgot about this text here. Yeah. Just a thing to sell you on, just to you know, get a last minute dig into you know, consumers' pockets to have them believe this is a worthy product, and you know, convince your parents to you know, prove to them that this thing is legit, or somehow get convinced yourself, and if you ever get, you know, expendable income, you purchase the thing. I think it was about $75 at launch.
They told you it was strange and powerful. Yes, this is part of an advertisement for a game that was designed to be used with the Power Glove. I think we covered this one in the first episode too.
Yeah, familiar with the title myself. Let's yeah, its presentation is yeah, interesting. Gives you a clue on the game about to be advertised. Give you thoughts in your head about what they're talking about.
And here it is. They told you it would pull you in deep. And as you can see, the game's title is starting to form. And finally, they told you, but you didn't listen. It's Super Glove Ball. Enter at your own risk. No thanks.
Yeah, I thought the game was somewhat appealing at first, but perhaps the game is one trick pony. Like you like you know, take the ball like with the Power Glove and you throw the ball at the squares of the wall to make the pieces disappear. That's from what I saw anyway.
Oh yes. I have never once played this, nor have I used the Power Glove. And after so many things I've heard about both games, I really don't think I should. How about you, buddy?
Yeah, not a lot of appeal with me. I mean, I saw a few game screens, and you know, it looks like fair eye candy at first, but I guess maybe the novelty wears off before too long. It's something that it's got to grab you as a kid, but you know, as an adult, you don't think too much of it.
And here's another ad, but this time it's for a peripheral designed for the Game Boy, which I wish I had growing up when I was a kid. You can't stay in the dark forever. Introducing the Light Boy.
Yeah, Light Boy. That's kind of like a, you know, it's a choice whether or not like you really want to be invested in the peripheral, or you just want to. I've always thought, you know, a nice alternative was just to like use the light in your living room, like a lamp over your head to give yourself some light that way, as opposed to like buying the peripheral. But if you're at the car like this, then I guess that would be a good reason to have it with you if you don't have a light above you.
Oh yeah.
But you got to question the kid's safety as he's not wearing a seatbelt in the car, like everyone else. Like everyone else wearing a seatbelt, and this guy's putting his kid at risk. He's playing his Game Boy. Hopefully his dad's a good driver.
Oh yes.
There was a live action of that previous ad with the Light Boy, and I guess they thought it was appealing enough that they had live actors portray those roles. But this rollerball,
Yep.
you know, has its moments, a pinball game.
Oh yes. And because I'm a pinball fan, this would be right up my alley.
Yeah, I suppose like the realistic pinball aesthetics maybe apply to this. I don't know how faithful they are to like a realistic balance, but I suppose I suppose like if it works for you, I suppose it's a fair game, and appealing enough, playable. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Again, I go for realistic pinball physics, and if it's close to perfect, considering an 8-bit console, I suppose the developers do alright for themselves. Oh yeah, the World 1990 Championships. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose the game was a part of that tournament.
Nice. How cool is that?
I don't know all the details. I just know about the game cartridge, the expensive cartridge that got distributed. Had primarily Tetris. I think that Dr. Mario and Rad Racer.
Oh yeah.
There were like mainly 3 games that people got competitive over, and was the main crux of the tournament. Maybe Rollerball was a side project to warm gamers up or something for the real tournament.
Keep in mind that Jer and I covered this ad in the first episode of the show. I was meaning to say that, but it also slipped my mind.
Yeah.
You got strength. You got the moves. You are the weapon target renegade.
Yeah, I kind of I have a personal like for this game. I was even considering playing it around this time period, just to get back into it and see, just to test out the game mechanics and the whole layout. It's a game that doesn't hold a lot in a lot of players' eyes, but for nostalgia reasons, it's there, especially if you rented the game, if it's the only rental you had. You played it until you took it back to the store, or if you really invested in title products and you liked the original Renegade and thought this was a worthy sequel. I don't think it's that worthy of a sequel compared to the original, but it still has its charm, at least for me anyway.
Oh yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Sorry, what's that?
Now here's a game that I think we covered in the first episode. We talked about it, if I remember correctly.
Perhaps. I like this ad myself, the Skater Die 2 one, especially with the presentation and the TV in the wall, apparently, in their dorm or room with a lot of skating paraphernalia around it. Yeah, very for the time, very pertains toward that demographic of fans that would really appeal to this ad.
Yeah, that's understandable.
If that makes any sense.
Oh yes, it definitely does.
Played it myself. Didn't think too highly of it because as a kid, just barely understanding level 1 and knowing the objectives of future levels. It's just it's very how should I say, very very technical. The missions are very particular, and it's not so much as free roaming as you expect. Maybe not so much from the first game where you rely on going to different locales and do specific stunts. This is more mission based, where you're on a subset sequence of missions where you got to do one thing, do one or the other, and it's very can get very technical. So if you expect to breeze through the game, you won't be able to do it as easy.
Oh, I wish I had those. Yes. The dual turbo wireless remotes for Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I suppose. Seeing those products as a kid when I first saw them, had especially with the presentation of the ad, you would think they would have a lot of promise to them. But mind you, I never owned these controllers, so I don't know for sure how much power or dependency he got in them. But I suppose they work fairly well for any consumer who picked them up. So I suppose they hold weight, perhaps similar to the remote control, what do you call it, the double player playing controllers that I own. And they have their moments in the sun, and perhaps these do too, work the same way. So kudos to anyone who gets their money's worth out of them and puts faith in the company product, thinking they can dole out good technology, potentially good technology like this.
Oh, check it out, Quick Shot. I actually own one of those, and it worked very well for me, I have to say.
Yeah, I've heard of the company of the brand Quick Shot. So I suppose they put out decent products. I've seen ones with Mario. I don't know if you see them, like Mario-esque branding on them with the joystick, and I've seen another ad that had Mario on it, advertising Quick Shots.
I'm hoping to find one of the flight sticks for the Super Nintendo, so that way I'll be able to play Star Fox, Vortex, Wing Commander, and the list continues on.
Yeah. I would suppose if you had a first-hand, testing of if you found, what I'm trying to say is if you found the product all right for yourself, then I would suppose I would have no problem believing that too.
Oh yeah. Now that is my absolute favorite game controller for when I play beat 'em ups, shmups, and the list continues on.
Your favorite gaming caption too?
Yeah. ASCIIware and their Super Advantage arcade stick controller.
Yeah.
And there's also the gamepad too, which was advertised heavily in Archie Comics.
Yeah. I remember telling you that. And what goes on there? Yeah, like Archie Comics that advertised that product heavily in one of their stories, and touting the different options like turbo feature and with rapid fire, things of that nature. So I suppose this product would have been a favorite among many circles. I would think.
And here's another one, Joystick of the Jungle.
Yeah, that's what I'm also familiar with, especially the back pages of the older magazines. Yeah, I guess it's supposed to tout the durability of the product based on the Gorilla, and a tough product to take on a game of any difficulty, given the options and the layout.
I own those two controllers, the Fighter Stick SN and SG6. I really love using those. They work very well for me, especially when I play fighting games, whether it be Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 2, maybe Eternal Champions, who knows?
Yeah.
And Fighter's History. I tend to be more adept at playing fighting games with the arcade stick controller, for those of you who may not know that about me.
Yeah, it's right. Well, I'm glad you have experience with that product, or experience with the knowledge of the product and how dependable it can be.
And that slogan, never loan out your stick, oh boy. I have a feeling that slogan might be taken the wrong way. Would you agree?
I suppose, yeah, the creativity behind the hat, no one had a double meaning.
Oh, jeez. Wow, check it out, the Game Boy.
Yeah, its first, quote-unquote iteration of color. This was just the color of the handhelds.
Yeah, the body of the handhelds. Not so much the screen, might I add. It still retained the sickly green graphics that you come to expect from the Game Boy. But you gotta admit, it was a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to sell. I mean, it's like a worthy sell to the consumer. If you're up to buying handhelds of a different color, or just spray paint your console, it was an easy sell for the youth. Thought thing that was like hip and cool idea, even though you're still playing in black and white. I mean, just the fact that you play on something, you play on a hue with a little variety. It's adds different dimension to your games, especially as a young one when you think that's very appealing.
Here's where things get weird. Take a look at this.
Yeah. Tetris and Dr. Mario combo.
Yeah, that advertisement, when I saw it, all I could say was, oh boy. Nintendo, what were you thinking? Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I didn't particularly catch on to the whole amalgamation of games combo. I didn't think like the two games together was particularly that appealing, but I guess I'm kind of in the minority of that. I just like playing it. I was more of a Tetris fan actually than Dr. Mario, but I like both games equally. But it did convince me to go pick up a combo like this. But I know it displays the convenience of having two games in one, especially with the graphics of the Super Nintendo. Helps to the situation. So, for those who love it, great. But I was more in the minority, liking Tetris more.
If I were a kid and I saw that advertisement, I would have started cracking up and laughing my head off at that. As in the little eyes.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country, you won't believe it either. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, that's one way to present, a segue to like the great graphics of the game and the gameplay and all the bells and whistles that to make the game a classic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I could relate to that. Blisters, anyone? I have blistered my thumb far too many times trying to perform the Hadouken Fireball while playing Street Fighter II for Super Nintendo with a regular controller before I started playing the game with arcade sticks.
Yeah, I experienced a bit of that myself when playing Mario Party, trying to rotate the analog stick while playing certain games and getting the skin taken off. So that wasn't fun.
Yeah, ouch. Introducing 6 new Scorchers for the Super Nintendo. And there are 6 new games, which you really should consider checking out. There was Super Punch-Out.
Illusion of Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
I think Uniracers is on there.
Oh yeah, Uniracers, absolutely.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Yeah, the advertisement itself is quite hilarious. It's not as weird as I thought it would be. What do you think?
Yeah, it's supposed to. I think the illustration shows how you can get hardcore with your game, especially with the button D-pad mashing, and really, really getting it, really getting intense with your product and being committed to the layouts of the games and how bad you thrash the D-pad to play, depending on how you play.
Yeah, and look, there's a box of bandages and, of course, the tape. No, that's funny. This is part of their Play It Loud campaign, as in Nintendo's Play It Loud campaign.
Yeah.
I was around for when that kicked into overdrive.
Yeah.
Same goes with Sega's Welcome to the Next Level thing. In this game, it's either them or you. I actually played that on my Mega Ever Genesis cartridge. It's a decent game. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that too. I've seen screenshots of it, and the meat and potatoes of the game, and it can be very appealing. You got 2 players simultaneous, which really adds to the product. And,
oh yeah, absolutely.
You can acquire different types of guns, and you have different enemies. And, a lot of map layouts are pretty nice and expansive, and there's a lot to do.
One of these days, we gotta do a playthrough of Soldiers of Fortune for Sega Genesis.
Yeah, that'd be something to look forward to. I'd be into that. Consider getting through the game, or however long we play.
Oh yeah, since there's no guarantee we'll be able to beat it. Data East, check out all that stuff.
Yeah, very artsy layout.
And that would be their version of Outrun. Sega's Outrun, might I add.
Yeah.
And the other, Fighter's History. That was the one that got them sued by Capcom.
Yeah, it's something I might have known about, but I didn't know all the details.
Yeah, I think it was for copyright infringement because Capcom felt that it was a deliberate ripoff of Street Fighter. Eventually, Capcom lost the case.
Yeah, I didn't know about. Well, I don't think it was much to complain about. I mean, companies can have their own respective fighting games. I mean, you had Data East with Fighter's History, and you got Sega with
Eternal Champions.
Yeah, which is more or less ripping off Mortal Kombat, but they try to have. I think people can find it has its own individual flavor, it had its own respectable take. It was its own. What I'm trying to say is that it was its own thing. Eternal Champions could survive on its own, and had its own subset of characters that you can invest time into. You don't think it's a ripoff of anything. But I think Fighter's History has enough clout that I think is worthy of a standalone title. It doesn't have to be derivative of anything.
Yeah, I do have to agree.
And it just shows how the ad touts that you can stay at home and play our games, and you don't have to go to the arcade and find something to do with your quarters.
Oh yeah. Dun dun dun! Here we go! We're finally getting into this! The VJ Video Jukebox! Oh wow. I'm surprised that peripheral never made it to market. It never even got released. And I wish it did.
Yeah, he especially had different he had different games you can stick into the slots. You can alternate them via a button or a D-pad, I would suspect.
Yeah, absolutely. It would make my life so much easier.
Yeah, this would not have been a hard sell to the consumer. I think it would have definitely made the company a fair bit of money. And the console or the peripheral, comes at a fair price. So
$50.
Yeah.
And oh no, look what they're releasing with it! Da da da! Remember that?
You don't believe that's gonna have a long life in that game? whatever genre it's gonna be.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
It could be just a silly platformer. But again, it's advertising the jukebox, and that was supposed to be their mascot, their representatives.
Or a title to be released with the peripheral.
Yeah. Packet title.
But because of how gross it is, Jer.
Yeah, I suppose they didn't care to finish it, or I don't know if you can find if it never got off the drawing board, or maybe you could find a beta of it somewhere.
Probably not. The game got canceled before it even got released.
Yeah, so maybe there's no footage of it anywhere, but it would have been nice if there was.
Not unless you want to avoid
avoid eating.
Having the bologna sandwich for lunch. Or if you don't want to see your lunch or dinner the same way ever again.
Because you could be eating a booger. Reminded of the initials HJ or HN. I got HN on my bologna sandwich.
Oh! I'm sorry about this, folks. The only other way to get non-stop gaming. Oh, jeez.
This is the one I remember a little bit better, yeah. With this illustration.
Yeah, it looks a little messed up. As you can see, the guy's got so many game cartridges crammed into his head that it isn't even funny.
He has all that memory stored in his memory banks.
Yeah. Unless he's a cyborg and underwent partial cyberization within that area.
He knows about the believability of the product, that he himself became one.
Oh, wow. Holy mother of... the VJ Video Jukebox from ASG, a company that would ultimately go out of business. What a drag, huh?
Yeah, you don't want to know the back-end game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's another 3DO advertisement. Stop playing games, get real. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Panasonic supposed real 3DO, yeah, their marketing blurb.
Oh, yes.
But it's not a bad title to be advertising, Road Rash.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Road Rash. I tried to play it once, but I wasn't really that good at it. I couldn't get used to the gameplay mechanics.
Yeah, it's gonna takes an afternoon to get used to. Once you do, like, you understand the physics, you know. And I suppose like the realistic, feel or supposed realism of riding a bike. I mean, they got that down to a degree.
Yeah, and you can use weapons to knock somebody off the bike.
Yeah, it's something. It's something a game. Well, it's a game worthy of passing the time. You know, making your time worth it. You know, it's a game with a lot of meat in it, a lot of interest, intrigue. So you get your money's worth out of this game at least. But again, that goes for anybody who invests time and money into the console. I mean, it's got its fair share of good games, but yeah, you just gotta sift through the negative stuff to get to the good games. But again, if you can invest in this, and investing in the system is not so bad despite the price tag.
Yep.
But usually if you have an expendable income.
The hottest titles, state-of-the-art technology.
Game sampling.
Yep. Can you handle it? Funtronics over at Sears. This is back when we here in Canada had a Sears store, which of course we no longer do.
Yeah, we used to have like a little game center for kiosk for the electronics. I remember Sonic 2 being able to play.
Oh yeah.
Sonic 1 or 2. But this is good presentation, good ad, good use of text, font, and picture layout, showcasing the titles and the genres, and what you look forward to when you go to Sears.
Here's a little something that we covered in the first episode: the ultimate gaming rig.
Yeah, this you saw in a lot of similar ad over the course of like 5 or 6 years. You saw presentations similar to this. As time goes on, you saw newer consoles and different technology. So it was kind of fun to see like an evolution of items as you look, and it's interesting the evolution of technology of sorts.
Have you ever participated in this contest?
I wanted to. Wanted to try. I think they gave you like an easy in to get you into the polls, get you into the running, but they wanted you to mystery word grid. They just wanted you to fill it out like the word power or something like that, just to get you legally qualified. Like me writing, I got as far as writing it out in the magazine when they were sending it in. Something I felt like half-hearted trying to do, but never committed myself to fully follow through.
Yeah, I understand.
I remember looking at that and just having being like total eye candy, the illustration, and a way of grabbing you in and trying to sell you on it. I don't know if it was like a bit of a scam going on behind all this, or if all this was legit. I wasn't sure, but I suppose it was true to form to an extent. They could win all that or most of it.
And here is yet another advertisement for software, etc. I seriously wish we had a store like that back in the 90s.
Yeah. bad. Not bad presentation. Very colorful.
Yeah, and they were selling a lot of Game Boy titles, Game Gear, and a bunch of other handheld consoles too.
Yeah, touting mostly handhelds. What they felt like they could, what the consumer would like at the time.
And here's another one, but this time it's for Tomo Inc. Take a good look at that. Holy. The Japanese version of the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, they had a lot of imported products that you could purchase, much in the style of Die Hard Game Fan, and their layouts, where they had a vested interest in consumer being able to buy imported stuff for a fair price, I suppose.
Wow, and they even had the games Dragon Ball Z 3 and Yu Yu Hakusho 2. Wow.
Yeah. This is partly how I got into the whole Dragon Ball Z universe, was through their games before the anime.
Oh, nice.
And I think one ad showcased their, I think it was Game Fan, showcased a huge action figure lineup, which Japan was able to dole out. Many different figures of Super Saiyans, and really getting into Dragon Ball Z and its allure, 2 years before even watching the cartoon, was through ads, services like that.
Well, that's pretty much it for this very special episode of my Video Game Magazine Read-Through Show, Part 1 of Ads, Ads, Ads. But we're not done yet. There's a Part 2 coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Until then, I'm Mike.
I'm Jer.
We'll see you back here next time. Bye.
It's been fun.